Hi, for those who don't know, it's Andrew, your observer of thought, difference, and everything in between. Today, I want to talk about something that it's not really dramatic enough to be called a breakup, but it still hurts. It hurts in a quiet way, outgrowing people without hating them. Because not every relationship ends with a fight. Sometimes they end with distance, and distance is harder to explain. One of the strangest experiences in life is realizing that someone who once felt like your person is slowly becoming a stranger. Not because something terrible happened, but because life kept moving. And like the two of you started moving in different directions. You still respect them, you still support them, you still appreciate the memories, but the vision of yourselves that once fit together doesn't quite exist anymore. And I don't know, that realization can sit in a really complicated emotional space. Because I think society often teaches us that if a relationship ends, someone must be the villain. Someone must have done something wrong. But sometimes no one did. Sometimes two people were simply right for a season of life, not forever. And that doesn't make the relationship meaningless. Some of the most important connections we have in life are the ones that shape us, even if they don't stay. Like, I've been thinking about this recently because of friendships in my own life. I've had friends where we used to be really close, the kind of friendship where we would check in on each other consistently, like sometimes 2 to 3 calls a week, just talking about life, where we are at mentally, what we're dealing with, what our plans are, just everything in everyday life. It felt easy, it felt stable. And then slowly something changed. The replies became slower, the conversations became shorter, and eventually it kind of stopped. So I did what I thought was the most honest thing. I brought up the distance, not to argue, not to accuse, just to understand what was happening. And the response was something like, I'm tired, I'm busy. And maybe that's true. Life does get overwhelming sometimes. I mean, I also am very bad at texting because I'm tired or I'm busy or I'm not in a talking mood. Like, people go through seasons where they're carrying a lot. And when something like that happens, there's always this quiet question that sits in the back of your mind. Like, how busy can someone really be for the people they say they prioritize? How tired can someone be for the people they say they care about or say they have your back? And if I'm being honest, that realization sits somewhere between hurt and disappointment. Not anger, just a quiet sadness. Because sometimes you don't necessarily need someone to stay, but you wish they had been a conversation, a moment of honesty, a moment where someone could simply say, I think we're growing in different directions, instead of slowly disappearing. But even with that, I'm not mad at any of my friends. I'm not mad at them. I don't hate on them. And that's something I've been reflecting on a lot, because I think maturity in relationships is realizing that you can still appreciate what was, you know, even if it's no longer what it used to be. Some people enter your life during a during a version of yourself that no longer exists. And when you grow, your connections sometimes shift too. Not because anyone is bad, but because life evolves. there's also this idea people talk about a lot. I saw it on Twitter just the other day and it got me thinking. Someone asked, do you guys believe in the right person at the wrong time? And the more I think about it, the more I believe there's truth in that. Because timing plays a big role in relationships than we'd like to admit. Like, two people can genuinely care about each other. They can have like a real connection, great chemistry. But one person might still be healing. Another might be focused on building their life. One might be searching for stability, while the other is still figuring themselves out. And when the timing doesn't align, the relationship struggles to exist in the way it once did. Not because the feelings were fake, or they faded or they died, but because life asks for more than feelings sometimes. And maybe that's the quiet truth about a lot of relationships we lose. They weren't failures, they were chapters, important chapters, but not the entire story. Some people walk with you during a specific part of your journey, and when that part ends, the path naturally separates. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't truly believe in, the right person at the wrong time. I also believe that if the person is right, the time will be right, you know? So, yeah. And there's never a right time, There's never a right time for anything. If you want to discuss something with someone, there's never a right time. So if someone matters to you, then you should genuinely be making the right time. So if you're someone who has felt that quiet distance from someone you once cared about, or someone who once cared about you, maybe the healthiest way to hold that memory is with peace instead of bitterness. You don't have to hate someone to move forward. You don't have to rewrite the past to justify why something ended. Sometimes the most honest ending is simply, I'm grateful for what we have, even if we ain't that anymore. Because life isn't just about who stays, it's also about learning how to release people with grace, without resentment, without trying to raise the role they played in your growth. Some people are meant to walk beside you for years, others only for a season, and both can still matter. Anyway, those are just some thoughts I've been sitting with lately. Maybe some of you have experienced something similar. Until next time, stay curious about your thoughts and gentle with the people who once meant the world to you. Even if life eventually took you in a different direction. This was unexamined, unfinished, on purpose.